Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about advocacy efforts at the state capitol to expand social justice for the LGBT community. My guest this segment is Rick Zbur, who's the Executive Director of Equality California. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
So Equality California, I gather, is really the state's largest advocacy effort for the LGBT community. Right?
We're actually the largest statewide LGBT civil rights organization in the country. So we've got offices in Los Angeles, Sacramento, Palm Springs. Yeah.
I understand that more than 100 pieces of legislation have been approved in the state of California over the last several years regarding the LGBT community. So a lot of people might think that the war has been won.
Well, in fact, that's the perception, but we still have a lot of work to do. We've got LGBT people with high rates of poverty, our LGBT kids, 4 out of 10 homeless kids in most of our major cities are LGBT. We have high suicide and suicide rates among LGBT youth and high dropout rates and bullying in the schools, low rates of health insurance coverage. And of course, all those things are worse if you're an LGBT person who comes from a community of color, or you're an immigrant, or you're a member of the transgender community.
So there's a lot of work to do, and I know there are a number of pieces of legislation working their way through the Capitol right now, and I know you're talking to members to try to get support. So let's talk about a few of them. The suicide one first. It's my understanding that something like 60% of, transgender population have thought about suicide?
Transgender and actually gay and lesbian and bisexual teens as well. It's a very, very high suicide rate, almost 4 times the general public. So that is, suicide is a big problem. And unfortunately, California schools, while some school districts have sort of voluntary suicide prevention programs, they're not mandated in the state of California. And so the bill that we're working on would require every school district in the state for middle school and high schools to have suicide prevention programs and plans in place.
Let's talk about another bill because it's getting a lot of ink and press, and that is a travel boycott to states that discriminate. North Carolina comes to mind, Mississippi, and there are others. And so that bill is moving through the system, right?
Yeah, it just got out of the Assembly last week. It's moving into the state Senate. This would basically require that, or not permit California state funds to be used for state government travel to states that have adopted a law that discriminates against LGBT people or that undoes existing local civil rights protections. I mean, what's really horrible about what's happened in North Carolina in particular is that the state government undid LGBT civil rights protections in Charlotte and some of the other municipalities in North Carolina.
If this passes, are you at all worried about pushback, other states saying we won't then come to California?
Well, this is limited so that it actually applies to new laws that would be passed that are focused on undoing LGBT rights or targeting LGBT people. This is something that is consistent with, we want to make sure that there's a disincentive out there for states to sort of pass these really bad LGBT laws. And frankly, there are businesses across the country now who have
picking up the boycott.
That are picking up the boycott. We have cities and other states that have already picked up the boycott, and it's estimated that these boycotts are going to cost North Carolina about $5 billion.
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment. I know you have many other pieces of legislation you'd like to talk about, but Rick Zbur, thanks for coming by and talking about those 2 bills.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, My Government On Demand, and the California channel. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.